Hello isopod fans, this is Wally Kern with Supreme Gecko, Supreme Isopods. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk about Porcellio werneri. There's so much information out there. Let me grab the book and just go through a couple of things with Porcellio werneri. Here we go. Okay, Porcellio werneri. Table of contents, of course. Let me check that. Page 86. Okay, there we go. Porcellio werneri. Wait a minute. There's no book. I don't have a book on Porcellio werneri. I checked the internet. There's no detailed videos on Porcellio werneri. There's really no great care guides on Porcellio werneri. This is a problem. So you tell me, how do you find out information on your isopods when there's just nothing out there whatsoever? And stay till the end because I'm going to shout somebody out that's done something on YouTube and I want to kind of call them out on this. Join us today.
The Isopod Vlog.
Hey, you know that we give away lots and lots of prizes at the end of the year. I think this last year we gave over $600 worth of gifts away at the end of the year for the Supreme Gecko YouTube channel. That's a lot of fun. And we're doing it again in 2021. How do you get into this giveaway? Well, the best way to get in is to leave a comment below. Leave a comment below, and I'm going to pick at the end of the year whomever leaves the most comments with some stipulations. And I'm going to do a random drawing out of all of the comments that everybody leaves on the YouTube channel on these videos in 2021. I'm going to pick some big time winners. All the monetization that we did in 2020 went right to these gifts, and I plan on doing something very similar this year. Get in on the giveaway while you can. As you know, I love the flat isopods, the spatulatus, the flavomarginatus, the expansus, maybe that's in that group, the werneri, and certainly the succinctus. The Porcellio werneri is called the Greek shelf isopod. It comes from Greece, obviously, and that's the isopod that we'll be focusing on today. I was fortunate enough to pick up a group of these at a reptile show from Brittany from the Isopod Chick about 6 to 8 months ago. You can go ahead and check out that video right about here. Now in that video, I asked everybody to put a comment down below telling me what they think this whole group of flat isopods should be called. And we had some great suggestions. Just check out these excellent names for these flat isopods. I think my favorite has to be skippers. So I'm going to start calling these isopods skippers. So what do you do in the case where you don't have a lot of information out there? Well, you go to the book. Again, I don't have that book, but you look for similar species that are being kept in the hobby and you try to figure out as much information as you possibly can off the internet, talk to friends, call vendors, talk to the person that you bought the isopods from. Now, Brittany put out a great video on Porcellio werneri a couple of months after I picked up mine. Thanks, Brittany. Thanks for the timing there. But I set up my Porcellio werneri the best that I could off the information that I had. What information did I go off of? The Spanish isopods, European isopods. They like to be kept dry, high humidity, dry. They like to be left alone. They like to be kept dry. Did I say that too many times? So they like their moist area, somewhere where as a crustacean they can go and they can hydrate and freely molt, but they like most of their enclosure dry. Now, normally I like to set up these kind of isopods in a 15 quart, lots of ventilation, lots of dry area, some moist area, a piece of cork bark or a long piece of tree bark, covering both the moist area and the dry area, lots of leaves, some decaying wood, and that's pretty much how I like to set these guys up. Coming home from this reptile show though, I really didn't have anything set up. I didn't have tubs available. Big mistake, and I realized that. But I did have some of these tall tubs. They didn't have a lot of ventilation, but it was sufficient. 3 holes on the top, 1 on the side here. I have my moist area on this side, lots of leaves, the bark, the decaying wood again. It was going to have to do for now. But I tell you what, when I set this tub up, I had some big problems with it. It became too moist. Everything was wrong with this. The substrate was moist, probably about 80% of the tub, and I realized that I had made a mistake, but I just didn't have the time to set it up the right way. Now, fast forwarding about 4 months later, and I was ready to set it up into a new tub. Lots of ventilation, lots of dry area, the moist area. Everything was going to be fine for these. They were going to thrive. I was hoping I would have babies, hopefully in a few months. I know they're a seasonal breeder, so I was expecting to see something in the spring. Well, when I opened this up to set them up in their new enclosure, I already had that all set up, ready to go. I just needed to transfer over the isopods. I found something, and it really, really surprised me. So let's take a look at this enclosure, and there they are, babies. There's babies. You can see how moist the soil is, the substrate is. It's just really not set up correctly for these animals. But we do see the babies running all over the place. Not a lot of them, just a few of them, but it's exciting to at least see these little mankai. Now, I'm not advocating whatsoever to set up your enclosures differently to have more moist area than dry area. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is sometimes these animals don't follow the book. Sometimes information is established on the internet and it's just passed on and on and on. And sometimes that information can be incorrect, or not even incorrect, but not exactly the full piece of information that we're looking for. Now, I want to touch on something real quick here. Sometimes we need to do things a little bit differently to find out what's best for the animals. I know this is true with geckos that I work with, but I think it's true with isopods as well. I'm not originating this idea whatsoever. If you get a chance, go to Chris Biggs on YouTube. Check out his channel. No, not that Chris Biggs. This Chris Biggs. Chris, the Mad Aquarist Biggs. He has great videos, but he's done a series the last few weeks talking about doing things different, setting up isopods differently, dry, moist, ventilation, less ventilation, doing different foods to see what's best for these isopods. And I think that we all need to do this as well. So if you're a big breeder, maybe you should start playing around a little bit. Maybe you do. If you do, leave a comment below. But if you're a big breeder, play around a little bit. I know I'm going to see what kind of setups are best for these isopods. I know on this channel I advocate a lot of ideas about keeping isopods. Do it this way, do it that way, set up reviews, here's my suggestions, but sometimes wrong isn't completely wrong. Do things a little bit differently with your enclosures. Try something different. It doesn't have to be so dramatic from everything that's written on isopods. Do something out of the norm. See if your isopods like it a little bit more. Because again, the book isn't always right. Thank you for watching.